It had to have been the hardest hill I've ever climbed in my life. I'm like shaking a little bit here too. This is definitely rough terrain. I probably should have spaced it out over 4 days instead of 3. Black Forest Trail, Tiadaghton State Forest. This is gonna be a good trip. Hey guys, welcome to Outdoor Adventures. This is Frozen. Thanks for joining me. I'm up here in Tiadaghton National Forest. I know I'm butchering that name, but quick recap of the past couple hours. Got off work early. Drove about 4 hours up here, 200 something miles. I am ready to do the first warm weather solo trip of the year. I've waited forever, it feels like, to experience warm weather this year, but finally we're hoping that it doesn't dip below freezing again like it's been the past couple trips. Whatever, enough of my blabbing. Let's get on the trail. I guess this is us. I'm on the Black Forest Trail. It's a 42-mile loop. It has some stunning vistas, some crazy steep ascents, and there's some developed campsites, well, primitive developed campsites along the way. Pre-existing campsites, I should say, really. So far, just walking in here, this place is beautiful. I'm actually really excited. I was driving down here and just looking up at the hills. So, you know, the rolling hills was just menacing but exciting all at the same time. Now, in this part of the national park, you have to watch out for timber rattlesnakes. Apparently they're in abundance here. So just got to watch where I step, taking it a little bit slower than I usually do, just to make sure I don't step in the wrong place. Anyway, let me get out the map and I'll show you what I'm up to. So, I don't know how good you can see this, but we parked here at Slate Run. We're probably right here now. Sorry, right here now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up the Black Forest Trail and probably stay 6 to 10 miles, somewhere around there, around Little Slate Run. And if I feel a little bit overzealous, maybe this Callahan or Naval Run. Tomorrow we're going to wake up very early and head probably about 18 to 20 miles and camp somewhere right around this area tomorrow night, and then we're just going to walk back out. So like I said, 42 miles round trip. I have some new gear. Well, not new gear, but I have tweaked my setup a little bit, and we'll go over that as well as answer the Facebook questions once I do get to camp. This is pretty beautiful here. This is nice. Hopefully the weather is supposed to be fantastic. It's supposed to be low 50s at night and mid 70s during the day. So yeah, that's perfect hiking weather for me. I love that. Got the hammock, got the quilts, got a alcohol stove this time instead of the MSR Whisper Light. So that saves me about 1.5 pounds right there. And I'm already looking forward to getting a good night's sleep in that hammock tonight. I'll tell you what, maybe and since I didn't get to show you guys really in depth on the Dolly Sod trip because it was just too much rushing around, the water really slowed our pace. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail tonight when we get to camp. Parking lot right next to the trailhead, if you guys are interested, is right there. It probably fits 3 to 4 cars comfortably. And then you'll just choose to go over here, blazed orange, or down the road just a tad, also blazed orange. So my pack weight for this trip, I think the base weight's about 14.5, we'll say 15 pounds. I'm also carrying something that I normally wouldn't carry on a trip, but a vendor contacted me recently over YouTube, and they asked if I could do, or if I could do some tests on it and throw up a review for them. So I said, hey, sure, why not? For those who've been following the channel, I will never praise a bad product. I will always give my honest and complete review of the product, whether it be good or bad. So I'm staying true to the channel, staying true to the direction that I wanted the channel to go in. So I'm walking up this trail, this vista, this hill, and I didn't bother looking behind me yet, but how's this for a view already? Oh man. Woo! Oh man, guys. Oh geez. Let me give you a panoramic of what I'm seeing here. I'm not even at the top of the hill yet. Look at this beautifulness. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. This is gonna be a good trip. This is just what I needed. Wanted to get out and clear my head a little bit. This will do it every time. I can already tell the terrain's gonna be really, really rough though. I'm gonna say already, this is gonna be the hardest trip I've ever done. I think we reached the first summit finally. That was rough, but it's rewarding nonetheless. Beautiful. We're going to be going all through that. "42 miles. This is a cool little campsite. I don't know if it's public use. It might just be for this camp, but there's a nice little pond. I know there's frogs here. I don't see any fish. The water is really, really clear though. It's kind of neat. But anyway, there's a little campsite right here. So a couple little bridges over here. Well, they were calling for a 20% chance of scattered thunderstorms. It's raining right now. Not hard enough to do any kind of rain gear yet, but tonight actually might be fun. I might be able to try out the tarp in wet weather finally. Not that I'm in any hurry, really. I'd rather it just be nice the whole time, but you gotta try it sometime, right? Oh, here's the road crossing, I guess. First road, maybe? Okay. Probably 2 to 3 miles away from an optional camp. Might want to push, but those hills are actually really steep. They were actually, some of the people that I read trip reports from, they were actually comparing it to hiking the White Mountains with the steep ascents. So they're not too bad. I mean, they are tiring, but once you get to the top, everything levels out. It's not like you go down and back up. You get a little flat part followed by downhill, then another ascent. So it's not too bad, but it's just a little tiring. Oh, okay, we're not going over there. This would be actually right after the road. It'd be a nice spot for a hammock site. In fact, I think I see a fire pit over there. Okay, a little Slate Run Trail. Pine Creek and also the Orange Blaze denoting that this is the Black Forest Trail. So yeah, we're gonna stay near Slate Run, I guess. Little water source, or Pine Creek, whatever it's called. And hopefully we'll be at camp within the next hour or so. It's like 7 o'clock already. I was hoping to be there already, but it's a little harder conditions than I thought, but not that bad. Oh, this is nice. Might have to readjust the fire ring, but it'll work. Set up the hammock here. Good way to tell if you're at your 30 degree angle is you just go like that with your fingers and put it on the line. If this finger's parallel with the ground, then you're good. Works for me at least. Oh, that's wonderful. You also want to make sure that your ridge line can be bent to almost a 90 degree angle with your two fingers. Right now I can't, so that means I need to increase my strap height and loosen my straps. Now you can see that I can actually easily bend this, so we're all good. Okay, we got the hammock system all set up. Now let me show you what I wanted to show you last trip. But so we have the tarp connected to this line right here. We have a simple loop at the end of this line, which is wrapped around the tree, and then it's threaded through itself. And it goes to this little thing right here called a Dutch Weir Wasp. You can get these at dutchweargear.com, and he actually sells a whole bunch of stuff that's actually really, really cool. So what you do is you feed this line into its mouth and pull this way, wrap it around its head right here, and then lock it down with its wing, and it's not going anywhere. Say you want to adjust it, all you gotta do is pull it back out, tighten it, loosen it, and lock it back in its wing. And I have the same thing on the other side. It actually works out very, very, very well. This allows you to not have to know how to tie knots and not have to untie knots in the morning when your hands are cold and you don't want to do anything before your morning coffee. Another thing I got, and I had wasps down here as well, and then I found these. They're called Tarpworms. You can also get these from Dutch's website. So basically what you do, and let me undo this to show you. So basically you have the line attached with another loop that goes down to your tent peg or your tent stake, and then you have this little it's called a tarpworm, and you have the line threaded right through. Okay, so all you got to do now, and it's actually on a piece of shot cord that attaches to your tarp's D-rings. So it's like this. Say you want to tension it down, you pull it down, make a loop, and wrap the line around the tarpworm, which catches this line and locks it into place. It is amazing, and these are like, I want to say $2 each, which isn't bad considering that you'll never have to tie knots again, and you can pack up, I'd say, twice as fast. These are amazing, guys. dutchweargear.com. This is my new stove. Well, I've used it before, but never in a video. This is just your standard Fancy Feast cat food can. Just took a hole punch and cut out some holes in here. And then you go up to a home improvement store like Home Depot or Lowe's, and you buy denatured alcohol and fill it up to the lines. And then it will actually light very well. And you can see I spilled some, but that's okay. Now, unlike canister stoves where you can just kind of light a flame and then you can boil, you have to let these prime a little bit before you put your water on or what you're basically cooking. This will basically boil your water in 10 minutes. It's not going to cook you bacon and eggs in the morning, but most of the time I don't do that anyway. So this works fine for me, and it only weighs like 0.4 ounces or something. It's really, really light. So can't beat that, and it works. So I got the Martian. It's a audiobook I've been listening to for a little bit now. It's about a mission to Mars that goes incredibly wrong, and a guy ends up being stranded on Mars. It's a really good book so far. I'm about 2.5 hours into the audiobook, and it's freaking amazing. See how we're doing. Oh, we're boiling. Good stuff. Earlier today, I asked you guys on Facebook, for those who follow my Facebook page, if you guys had any questions for me. It could be about, you know, camping, hiking, gear, advice, music, whatever, chit chat, whatever you guys want to talk about. I got a couple responses. So Jenny asks, the more you do these solo trips, do you find yourself becoming more connected to yourself and to nature? That's the first part. We'll get to the other parts after this, but I do. It takes a couple, maybe an hour or two, but I'll sometimes just like forget about real life, forget about all that garbage, forget about the bills and, you know, traffic, all the stuff that stresses you out throughout the day. You can throw that all away because you're on your own out here. You're here to enjoy the real world, what nature has to offer, what it's always been. It's always been here. And you have time to think, which in this day and age, I don't think many people have time to think. It's just too fast-paced of a world out there. There's things that you can teach yourself when you fully understand what's going on in your life based on what's happened to you in recent events. So yes, to answer that part of the question, yes, I do feel it's connected me more on solo trips. Not so much on, you know, whenever I'm with somebody, because usually you're just talking to the person. The next part of the question is there a sacredness a lot of people have lost touch with? I think I answered that question. I do believe that. And do I ever feel anxiety or peace or magic? And how has your emotional state progressed with hiking these long trails overall? So, my emotional state when I'm on the trail is I'm awesome. I'm at peace with everything. Stuff in real life and you know, outside of this life bothers me, but it doesn't bother me as much. It's a great stress reliever is what I'm trying to say. So I encourage everybody to get out and go hiking. Go on your own adventure. That's why I'm doing this channel. I just want to inspire maybe one person, 2 people a year to go out and get into hiking. Find something that you really enjoy doing and do it. Go outside and find yourself, I guess. As corny as it sounds, you can do that out here. Another question by Michael. What is your best and worst backpacking experience? Oh, let's see. My best backpacking experience was probably completing the Laurel Highlands Trail. There was just something about that. After like the second or third day, it felt like total bliss. It felt like I was supposed to be there. And it was a great challenge that I had in my mind for 9 months. I wanted to do that trail, and I trained, and I did cardio, and I did conditioning, and I went hiking, and then I finally can say that I did it. And there's not many people out there that have gone 70 miles over a 6-day trip and can say that they've done it. And that's just an amazing feeling for me. And that was probably the best trip. The worst trip was probably in the same area, the Laurel Highlands Trail. It was one of my first trips. It was the beginning of April. There was no snow on the ground near my house, so I thought I would be okay. Me and my buddy Josh went down to Route 653 on the Highlands, and it was covered in snow. Probably a good foot of snow on the ground. And we got there late. We got stuck in traffic for about 2 hours. He was an hour late on top of that. We ended up getting there at like 7 o'clock, maybe 8, and we could not find the shelter. We didn't know where to go. There was snow on the trees, on the trunks of the trees. We really couldn't see any of the yellow blazes that stood out. Some of the hills we couldn't even get down. and it was just a nightmare. We debated on just setting up camp, but we had hiked till about 1 o'clock, and then we just bagged it and we just went home. We didn't even do anything. So I hope that answered your questions, guys. Even on the worst backpacking trips you'll ever go on, you'll always learn at least one thing. And, you know, it might be something little, but every once in a while you'll have that oh kind of moment. And something will click. You either change a piece of gear, you'll use it better, you'll find a better way to do it. Like I just showed you on the tarp, in the hammock. And that's what it's all about. It's about learning from your mistakes, taking the good trips and the bad trips equally, and learning from both of them. So guys, keep your questions coming. I'll be posting, you know, whenever I go on a trip, we'll keep doing this. It seems to be catching on a little bit more and more every time I do it. So thank you for your questions, guys. Right now, I'm going to eat because I'm starving. Okay, so before it gets too dark, this is the item that I was talking about. This is that the vendor sent me. This is a Bluetooth speaker, and if you're wondering why it's so big, it's because it also turns into a lantern, which is kind of neat, and it's actually pretty darn bright. So I'm gonna try this out. I actually have my my book on my phone right now, and I'm playing it over the Bluetooth. So it's actually working out pretty good. The speaker's really nice. The light's really bright. You can even dim it. You can dim it real slow. See that? And there's two different light settings. There's, you know, normal and then really bright. So, yeah.
5 volts.
You can also answer your phone calls through here. And there's a microphone, so you don't need to be around your phone if they call. So, you just talk into this, basically. It's like a hands-free set, too. Well, the fire's going okay. Everything's really damp here. I'm actually pretty surprised. It must have rained earlier this morning. And when that dies, I'll probably go to bed. It's already 9 o'clock.
I just basically fell asleep listening to the Martian. Not because it's boring, but because the hammock's so comfortable. So I'm going to take that as my cue to go to bed. It's about 11 o'clock now. Got cleaned up, charging some camera batteries. And long day tomorrow, but I will see you in the morning. Good night, guys. Good morning, everybody. It is incredibly early right now. I'm not sure why my body wants to wake up, but it wants to get up. It's only like 5:15, but the birds are chirping, and I can see a little bit of sunlight creeping up. So we're going to get up and get on the trail really early this morning, which is probably a good idea. But yeah, it's just, I gotta make it some serious miles today to complete the trip on time. So let's get up. I'm gonna grab my bear bag too, which is decently far away. So let's do that first. Got the bear bag, heating up some water for some breakfast. And it was actually a low of 56 last night, so that's a big change from 31. So that's perfect. I was actually a little hot with the underquilt. That underquilt's rated for 30 degrees. So what I had to do was I basically just opened this up a little more to get some airflow going in here, and that worked pretty good. I was still hot the whole night, so I ended up just like, I didn't even have the quilt all the way up. It was kind of like at my waist, and it worked out great for me. So yeah, I actually got to use it in blanket mode finally, instead of like zipping it up and putting your feet in. I just left it all the way out the whole time. It was pretty nice. Do a final check here, and then we'll get on the road.
assume it's going to bring me up in some elevation pretty quickly right now. It looks like a decent hill. So far today, it's just been mostly all uphill. There was a flat part for about 0.01 miles, and then it was just straight up. It says we hiked 1.89 miles, so we'll say 1.5 miles, because I was walking around camp this morning too, which still in itself isn't good. I average about 3 miles per hour when I'm hiking. So what, we're at 1.5 miles an hour. Ugh. Might be a late night again tonight. That's pretty freaking cool, guys. Too bad it's so foggy out though. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty cool. It didn't even run away yet. Down there is where I wanted to try and camp the first night if I felt up to it, but yeah, it was too late. It'd probably take me 3 more hours to get here. That means it would have been 10 o'clock. But I believe this is Naval Run. You'll actually go up a yellow, orange, and red blaze trail. Right after the yellow trail tells you to go up this hill, the campsite will be on your right next to the stream. I'd say 2 tents or a tent and a hammock would be good down there. There's actually chairs and a pretty nice fire ring, and there's plenty of wood. It had to have been the hardest hill I've ever climbed in my life. I'm like shaking a little bit here too. Oh my god. I'll do like a 15-minute break, I think. Heart's pounding out of my chest. This is definitely rough terrain. I probably should have spaced it out over 4 days instead of 3. Actually, 4 days instead of 2.5. Holy cow. Got a nice view. I guess that's Pine Creek down there. That's nuts. Wow. Well, what do I do here? Could stay on the Black Forest Trail here and add a significant amount of time to the trip, or probably cut 1.5 hours off here. This is really tempting, but you guys know me. I like the challenge, so it's Black Forest Trail all the way. And I hope I don't regret doing this, but yeah. I looked at the like the landlines, the contour map that I have with me. It appears after Callahan Run, which is what I'm heading down to right now, it appears to get a lot flatter and a lot easier. The contour lines are just so close together right now, it's just making for crazy elevation gain and loss, which is why I'm so slow right now. But I think after Callahan Run and one more big giant hill, I think it'll be a lot easier after that. So it's about 10:30 right now. It's still early. At this pace, I figured I'll probably be rolling into camp around 7 or 8 o'clock. That would be the longest day I've ever done. So, and then I would still have 15 to 16 miles the next day. But we shall see. Hopefully the contour map is actually correct, and it does get a little easier after this. This trail's rough. I'm a little taken back. Wasn't expecting it to be this rough. If I have to stay an extra night, I will. So 9.5 miles in. It's 11:40. Just got to the bottom of Callahan Run, and I'm about to make another steep ascent, it looks like. I had to fill my water bladder up because I'm not sure how many streams I'm going to cross from here on out to the next camp. So I'm just being prepared, even though I didn't want to carry 4.5 pounds of water up this hill. I just want to make sure I'm staying hydrated today, so I have to. good campsite right at the end of Callahan Run, where it gets to a fork with another stream. I'm not sure what the other stream is, but there's the fork right there. There's the, it has a couple benches, a fire pit. It's probably good for a tent down there. You could probably do hammocks right here. And you got an ample water supply. I just want to find a place to sit down and relax for like an hour. Man. If you're planning this trip, make sure you're in excellent physical condition. This is a really hard trail. I just looked at the pedometer. It says I'm at 9.8 miles. Past 40 minutes, we're all uphill. I'm going really slow too. Every like 25 seconds, I'd have to stop and catch my breath. And I consider myself in pretty good physical shape. Oh man, that's crazy. Jeez. Oh, here's how much I'm losing my mind, guys. Okay, so I thought I lost basically a whole lunch's worth of food. So trail mix, couscous, and tuna. I thought I had lost it all, plus cookies. Thought I left it back on that first summit that we did this morning. And I just completely forgot that I put it in this smell-proof Ursack bag that I carry in the top lid. So here I am ripping out my my dry bag. And I'm panicking because I don't have any food for the day. This is what happens when you get extremely tired. So I need to stop and I need to eat. Having couscous and tuna. I really like the couscous better compared to rice, instant rice. I had those boil in a bag rices, so you'd have to boil your water and let it simmer for 10 minutes. So you had to have your stove on for 10 minutes. This stuff, you boil water, put the couscous in, and then you can, well, you can tell I'm tired. And then you can eat it. So this is, it tastes, if you add the tuna, it tastes just like rice and tuna anyway. And it actually tastes a little bit better. And the really good thing is, couscous is, I think, double the calories. I think couscous is like 120, 150 calories per serving. So, that's really good. I just crossed over Route 44. So, past mile and a half have been relatively smooth, similar to what I'm walking on right now. I just walked the road for a little bit back there to cross Route 44. And in the next 4 hours, we'll be looking for camp. Seems like a long time. Check out that house. It's the house in the middle of the woods, next to a stream. Huh. I love seeing old buildings like this. You know, when I'm out hiking. Gives you a sense of, you know, the history in the area. You know, what it used to be. This is pretty neat. Old stone house. Oh well. So it's 4:35. We've done 18 and a quarter miles. We're almost at the section of long stretch of trail that heads or crosses over Route 44 that I planned for Camp 2 for tonight. So probably within the hour we'll be looking for campsites. Maybe within 30 minutes would be even better, because I'm about ready to settle down for the night. My feet definitely need a rest. Now I'm just really confused. Still going the right way, but the trail's not lining up with the map at all, nor the elevation profile. Pull my compass out because it had me going south, and the trail that I thought I was on said north. I'm pretty sure, and then it went south for a little bit, and then it came back up north, but it stayed away from the stream. This trail is supposed to follow a stream the whole way back to Route 44, which is a couple miles north of here. I don't see any stream right now. I mean, there's a bog. Maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know. Oh, man. Just want to get to camp at this point. I don't even care where it is. I have no idea where on the map I actually am. And that's a little scary. It has me going south right now, which doesn't make any sense. I need to be heading north to Route 44. Plus, I mean, it's still blazed. I'm okay, but I don't understand this at all. These are like some crazy rocks to be climbing over too right now. Oh, man. Oh. What's worse is I gotta look for timber rattlesnakes while I'm here. Okay, I'm hearing water again, and I'm heading downhill in the direction that it looked like was on the map about an hour ago for me. I'm currently heading north, which is a good sign, and I'm zigzagging, which is matching up with the map, like I said. So, this is freaking nuts. I misjudged the distance on the map really, really badly. I'm not even sure how that happened. Crazy mileage today. Well, as soon as I see another fire ring, even though I'm probably not going to use it, I'm camping. We got a decent sized creek on the right side of us right here. We're heading north. All is well, except for my feet, of course. And I cannot wait to just go to bed. I really can't. I'm so tired. But yeah, we're looking for a fire pit. You know, one of them pre-existing campsites. We're not creating anything from scratch. And there should be several along the way to Route 44. God, I can't believe I judged that distance so terribly. That's really, really bad. Oh, this is me. I'm gonna have to go these two trees probably, but I think it'll work. Just want to set up and chill. My God. For the pedometer, it says 21.5 miles, and I had my phone turned off for probably a quarter to a half a mile just to save battery, and then I realized the pedometer wasn't working with the phone off, so I turned it back on. Anyway, I'm gonna chill, get some water. I'm gonna dunk my feet in, set up the hammock, and just rest for like an hour, because that's what I need. Ugh. Wow, guys, the wind has really picked up here. The sky is getting really dark. Looks like we were gonna get a storm here. I got my hammock all set up, but I'm still cooking dinner. It's gonna rain any second now. It's definitely raining. Got the tarp set up in, we call it porch mode. Just to use a couple trekking poles to raise it up a little bit more. That way I can just chill under here, wait for this to blow over. Yeah, this forces me to stay off my feet anyway, so I'll definitely be thankful for that tomorrow. Kind of peaceful and relaxing in a way too. Just no thunder, just slow, light rain. Slow and steady rain. Dinner's ready. I'm gonna eat dinner. I guess I'll listen to the rest of the audiobook. Got some delicious beef stroganoff tonight. It is so good. Oh, look at that deliciousness. Alright guys, that'll do it for me. Rain stopped. Tarp worked out great. I'm tired. I'll wake up pretty early tomorrow and get to it. I will see you in the morning. I was zonked out last night, man. I didn't even wake up once at all. Usually I'm up a couple times just going to the bathroom and stuff, but it's about 6 o'clock. It's like 64 degrees, I think. It's hotter in here than it is out there, so I'll check the temp out there. But yeah, 6 o'clock. I want to be on the trail by 7, so
maybe even earlier. So I'm gonna get out, make breakfast really quick, and pack up, and then head out of here. So before I pack up, I did want to show you this. It's called a Ridgeline organizer. Hennessy has these built into their hammocks, and a lot of other hammocks also have these built in. Weir Bonnet, however, does not. Although I wish they would, because even with the gear shelf down here, having one of these is really awesome. I just like to put my gear, electronics or something, inside these little pockets. There's 3 pockets on each side, and then you can store something big in the middle. And it's really dark here, but I can't turn the light on right now. But yeah, I like you could easily put like an Nalgene bottle in here in the winter or something. And I like to put my charger and cell phone in here, so I can just gain quick access without looking for it. The Ridgeline organizer is great. I really like that feature. But this is for like bulkier, lighter items, and the heavier the item, it will weigh down. Plus, it is a little bit of a pain trying to, like, in the middle of the night, say you want your headlamp or something, digging around if you have a lot of stuff in here, and trying to find that one item. So, I think this was like 20 bucks. I think it's a DD Hammocks Ridgeline organizer. I will annotate on the video if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, like 20 bucks. I think it's worth it. But yeah, just it's about 6:45. I'm just getting packed up. I'm hoping to be on the trail in the next 15 minutes. And we're blasting out of here pretty soon. So, enough talking from me. We'll get to this. Alright, one final check. I think we're good. Let's get out of here. Well, it rained on and off last night. Nothing too major. But, just on and off rain most of the night. At points, I couldn't even tell if it was raining just because the stream was so loud, which was really, really nice for me. That's probably one of the reasons why I slept so well. I just love hearing the sound of that rushing water while you're sleeping. It's like that ambient noise. Hopefully the terrain is just a little bit easier today, and can barrel on out of here and actually enjoy the scenery without having to walk up mountains all freaking day. Camp County line. Oh, look, a bridge. Wow, a bridge. That's awesome. If you're wondering why I'm so excited, I crossed that creek that we were going up probably a dozen times, not even joking. And every time I got my feet wet. Just fine, but it goes up past your ankles. So yeah, my pants are soaked. And feels like it's about 64 out here. It's really humid. 64, yeah, because I know the temperature that was. I've actually been bringing an Accurite thermometer with me and just clipping it to my backpack. It's pretty good. It was like 10 bucks. It's digital. It has a watch battery that you can slide out when you're not using it. It also does the highs and lows of the day, which is kind of neat. So it's perfect for the stuff I want to do for YouTube. Oh, there's a nice campsite here. Oh, cool. It's right after Camp County line. Be a great little area, and this is what I was hoping for. This is my favorite type of forest, where it's just pine needles on the ground. The reason being, it's very cushiony on your feet. And on top of that, it's real dark, peaceful, and quiet. Oh, it's so wonderful. Maybe the Black Forest Trail felt sorry for me for ticking me off yesterday, and it's trying to make it up to me today. Maybe I'll accept its apology. I still don't recommend anyone do the first, probably the first 8 hours from the parking lot going clockwise. It's not enjoyable.
I've come close a couple times in really bad weather, but this takes the cake for unpleasant trips for the first day. But it progressively got better at about 1:30 after I had lunch, and everything started smoothing out a little bit, and it was real nice. So yeah, and guys, there's a parking lot right there if you want to park here for the night. Lots of ferns here. This has been like this for the past, I'd say, 45 minutes or so. Just pure ferns, and then over here there's a fence. It's pretty crazy. These ferns. I read about these in the Highlands. They're very invasive, and they don't provide animals with much sustenance at all. So these actually just take over everything, and nothing else can grow here. At least we're seeing these views without climbing up, right? That's beautiful. 6 miles in today, and well, 6.2 miles in, and it's about 9 o'clock. Same scenery the whole time, just the ferns over here. There's red blazes back there. I almost went down there. You need to stay on orange. You'll get pretty turned around if you mistake an orange blaze with a red one. So I noticed on my left, it's actually a really nice campsite down there, right before the bridge. So just make a left at the bridge and go down the hill. Ah, this is nice. It's a beautiful little stream. It'd be a nice campsite down there. Wow. This is nice. Nice little bridge here. The rocks are really slippery though. Wow. That's cool. Algerine wild area. Okay, good. Go through this little wild area, head south, and go back to the car. Red Run's pretty nice. I saw a campsite a little bit back there too, so you can camp along here. Give you kind of an idea of my elevation gain. I mean, look at the white water coming down here. So, it's pretty technical too. Look at all these rocks. I almost have to scramble these. Oh, sliding. Wow. Just wow. I passed a group on my way up here, and what's really funny is all of them were rocking the Osprey Exos. I think there was like 3 or 4 of them. And I just commented, I was like, hey, nice pack. He's like, hey, you too. And we got to talking. He was like really surprised that I did this whole trail myself. So, hey, it makes me feel good about this. But the big thing is, he told me once I get to the top, that's mile marker 6, which means there's now 6 miles back to the car. So we're figuring 2 hours at 3 miles per hour, or maybe even more or less than that. So I'm definitely on the Vista. Definitely looking out for snakes now. They said they didn't see anything either. But he apparently has a really, really detailed map that he left on his window under the wiper blade. He said, go ahead and take it, because he saw my map and it's really outdated. Should have asked him where he got it. I didn't even think to ask though. But he said go ahead and take it. So if we see it in the parking lot, go ahead and snatch it up. But we shall see. I'm so tired I already forget which car he said he brought in. I think it was a white truck or something. That's awesome. Huh, West Rim Trail. That's interesting. The only West Rim Trail I know is known as the PA Grand Canyon, which I know is close to here, but I didn't think the Black Forest Trail connected with it. It's kind of neat. Huh. Might have to check the West Rim Trail out at some point though. It's about 12:30. The pedometer says we've hiked 13.17 miles. So that's pretty accurate, I guess. Feels like more. But the uphills, I think, count more steps compared to the distance you walk on flat ground. So. Okay, we're finally heading downhill. It's about a mile downhill back to the car, I believe. How about this campsite right here? That would be an awesome place to watch the sunrise and set. See how far we're gonna go down. Should be at the bottom of that when we get down this hill. Parked somewhere over that way. Wow. That's pretty neat. It's huge. Either somebody has way too much time on their hands, or this used to be an actual wall. Lots of cairns here. I'm surprised. They're like stacked everywhere. Shale cairns. I guess it wouldn't be that hard to make though. The pedometer just hit 16, so that's rough. 21 and then a 17 to 18 mile day. That's nuts. That's like Appalachian Trail mileage right there. I am definitely not that kind of thru hiker. Much respect to those guys. I don't know how they do it. Alright, we are finally at the bottom. Parking lot's just up ahead. Thought we had to cross a stream, but I guess not. I don't know. Stream looks like it's right here, but it's going opposite of which way we're going. No. It doesn't surprise me with all the Black Forest Trail reroute signs I've seen. Maybe they got around it and they're using this existing bridge that I drove over. So, yeah, what a trip. I don't think my feet have ever hurt this much on any other hiking trip I've ever done. That's crazy. Official mileage is let's see. We got 16.9 miles today, on top of the 21 point whatever miles we did yesterday, and the 7 point something from Friday. It's crazy. There's another campsite up here, cool. Anyway guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to film this, as you all know. Got to try out that Bluetooth speaker. I ended up listening to 8 or 9 hours of The Martian this trip. I finally finished it. It was a great book. I highly recommend it. Get it on Audible or Amazon or whatever, and just veg out and listen to his crazy story. It's nuts. But anyway, if you guys have any questions about the Black Forest Trail, I will do my best to answer them. I can't offer you a map because my map absolutely is terrible. So if you have any questions about where the campsites are, see the video. Oh my goodness. Speaking of which, guys, look at this. I'm not going to get too close, but there's your timber rattlesnake right there. Wow, I almost stepped right on it. It's a baby though. Wow. That would have been bad. Huh. Okay, we're gonna leave him alone. I think that's a timber rattlesnake. It sure looks like it. Just like I said, it's a baby. Anyway, you guys, if you have any questions about the Black Forest Trail, I'll do my best to answer them. I know my map wasn't the best. If you have any questions about the gear that I've used in this video, go ahead and feel free to ask. You can comment below or find Outdoor Adventures on Facebook and go ahead and message me. Thanks for watching. This is Frozen, reminding you to be smart, stay safe, and I will see you on the trail. Have fun out there.